Hello, welcome back. This is the Once Future King here, once again for another video. So today, this week, I'm going to be trying something a bit different. I decided to look up online some of the strangest laws in Japan, because I don't want this channel to just be about anime in general. I do kind of want it to be about Japan. Alright, the whole 9 yards, basically. And so, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do in the future for this endeavor, but I decided to start out with this one. Alright, one of my passing hobbies, I guess you could say, is looking up strange laws around the world. And since this is a Japanese/anime channel, I decided to look up some of the strangest laws in Japan. Now, before you get on my case for being someone who doesn't even live in Japan, has never been there, I'm not picking on Japan in this video. Okay, this is just meant to have a good laugh, maybe learn something. And like every country has stupid or weird laws. Alright, Japan is not the outlier here. But that's what this channel is about, so that's obviously what I'm talking about. So I found an article that lists 12 of the most bizarre laws in Japan. And I want to share them with all of you and see what you guys think about them. So let's do this. Number 1. It's illegal to make clone. Having a clone of yourself might seem nice, but in Japan it has been illegal to clone yourself since 2001. If you're found experimenting with human cloning, you can serve up to 10 years in prison or have to pay a fine of 10 million yen. If you're found experimenting with human cloning in Japan, you could face up to a 10-year prison sentence, or have to pay a fine of up to 10 million yen, which is equal to over 94 million US dollars. Now, the idea of human cloning is very, very controversial. Some people are for it, other people are against it, they say it's unethical. I personally don't have an opinion myself because I don't know enough about it. But it's kind of strange to create a law banning something that we don't even know if it's possible to do yet. At least not to humans. Number 2, you can be jailed for putting ice cream in mailboxes. In Japan, you can be put in jail for up to 5 years or fined up to 500,000 yen for putting ice cream in mailboxes, which, you know what? That's kind of a dick move. Like, who puts ice cream in mailboxes? It's like, as crazy as some of these laws seem, in order for something to be a law, someone has to have done it. So is it like a trend in Japan to put ice cream in mailboxes? Why? I've never heard of this before in the United States, so it must be a Japan thing, or maybe it's an Asian thing, I don't know. But at the same time, I do think the punishment is kind of severe. Like 5 years in prison or 500,000 yen. That's kind of pushing it as far as punishments are concerned. I don't think the punishment really fits the crime. But, even though I'm against it, I say the word crime very loosely. But it's still kind of a dick move. You probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, this is still a weird law that even has to exist in the first place. Plus the punishment is still extreme, if that makes any sense at all. Number 3, drivers will be fined for splashing pedestrians with rainwater. In Japan, if drivers intentionally splash pedestrians with rainwater, they can be fined up to 7,000 yen, or roughly 66 US dollars. Now, while I get this law to an extent, because being splashed with rainwater fucking sucks, how are drivers supposed to control this exactly? And how do you know if it's intentional? Like, if I'm walking down the highway, or down the sidewalk, and a car passes by and there's a puddle, it's probably going to splash me. The driver really doesn't have any control over that. Like, how do you know if they wanted to do that? It seems kind of counterproductive to me. It's like there's really no way to control that, so having a law that fines the driver is kind of dumb in my opinion. Alright, now $66 doesn't seem like a lot of money, especially compared to some of the previous ones. But I mean, it definitely adds up, especially if the driver happens to be super poor or something. So this one is definitely, I think, the dumbest on the list so far. It's like, yeah, getting splashed by rainwater as a pedestrian really sucks. But the driver, more likely than not, probably can't control that. So punishing them for it is kind of dumb. Number 4, you can't take out the trash too early. Living in Japan means living an eco-friendly lifestyle. This involves sorting out your trash at home and being a pro at the 3 R's: recycling, reducing, and reusing. There are many rules to follow, such as bringing out your trash on the designated days for the people who pick up the trash to pick it up. Hearing that, some people might think that it's helpful to bring out the trash the day before sanitation workers are supposed to go pick it up, so that you don't forget. However, that's not how it works in Japan at all. In fact, Japan has wild raccoons that often like to dig into the trash, which I'm sure we've all experienced that, but Japan apparently was so sick of it that they decided to make it a crime, or rather a misdemeanor, I'm not exactly sure what it is, to take out your trash early. You're supposed to take it out on the day that the garbage comes. And you know what? I kind of get this. It's like, they don't want trash to be spread out around the fucking neighborhood. So, because of those damn raccoons, and I guess any other animals that might decide to get into them. So, alright, I'll give this one a pass. Also, apparently if you pose a fire hazard, I don't really get that part unless people are like going to people's houses and intentionally setting garbage on fire. In which case, the crime should be setting garbage on fire. But I'll give this one a pass, especially since the article that I was getting these from didn't really have like a set punishment listed, so I can't really say if the punishment fits the crime or not. By the way, I will link the article that I took inspiration from in the description box down below. I want to make sure to cite my source, so you can check out the original article if you so choose. Number 5. It's illegal to hand your neighbor's misaddressed mail to them. Passing your neighbor's misaddressed mail to them when it accidentally arrives in your mailbox would seem like the polite thing to do. However, Japanese law begs to differ. Apparently, this law was put into effect to protect the privacy of both the sender and the recipient. If any misaddressed mail appears in your mailbox, send it back to the post office and let them take care of it. With all seriousness though, you probably won't get in trouble for handing your neighbor their mail unless they purposefully tell on you. But it's still a strange thing. That would have to be something that I would have to get used to if I lived in Japan. Because it's like, if I know the person who I received their mail of, I would always just give it to them. It's like, it's so much easier and more efficient that way. But apparently, Japan disagrees. Number 6, it's illegal for married couples to live separately unless there is a just cause given. If you're married in Japan, you have to stay together. The only exception is if there's a just reason, such as work or health-related issues, which might be common right now because of COVID-19. The law was passed to ensure that married couples work together to bear the cost of living and to prevent undue divorce procedures from skyrocketing in Japan based on prolonged separation. However, most Japanese couples don't have a reason to live apart after marriage, so many of them might not even be aware that this law exists. But it does. And I'm of two minds on it. Like, on one hand, you should be allowed to live wherever the fuck you want. But on the other hand, if you're not going to live together, then why the fuck did you even marry? It's like, seems counterproductive to me. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. So yeah, I'm of two minds on that one. Let me know what you think. Also, since I'm already halfway through this video, if you enjoy it, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe my channel, hit the notification bell, and comment down below on what your thoughts on all of these strange laws are, and if there are any other just bizarre laws from Japan that you also think should be highlighted. I might consider doing a follow-up video to this in the future, so let me know of any laws that you would like me to cover in that. Number 7, Japanese citizens between the ages of 40 and 74 have to have their waistlines measured annually. Japan may be famous for sumo wrestlers, but you'd be hard-pressed to find truly obese people in Japan outside of sumo wrestling or like NEETs or something like that. We know that the Japanese diet is well balanced, but that's not the only cause for the low obesity rates in Japan. A law created in 2008, so relatively recently actually, causes the government to monitor your waistline after you turn 40 to ensure that you're staying healthy. The waistline circumference imposed on men is around 85 centimeters, and for women it's 89 centimeters. There's actually a lot of companies as well that arrange weight loss classes to help their employees stay fit. You know, on one hand it does seem kind of strange that the government would force you to be healthy, but on the other hand, Japan has a lot of really elderly people. Some of the oldest people in the world are Japanese, living in Japan. So it really begs the question, maybe this is a good thing? You know, maybe we need this shit in America? I mean, I'm not exactly one to talk. Maybe I need this, who the fuck knows? Okay, number 8. Japanese citizens need to notify the government before visiting Antarctica. Most people don't need to notify their government for their next holiday destination, but if you live in Japan, you have to do that if you plan on going to Antarctica. Who is vacationing in Antarctica? In 1997, Japan signed a treaty agreeing to help keep Antarctica free from environmental damage. As a part of that treaty, Japan prohibits its citizens from taking actions that could potentially damage the environment in Antarctica. What environment? It's all fucking ice! Who goes to Antarctica? Okay, I'm done with that one. Seriously, who, anywhere in the world, goes to Antarctica for vacation? Out of all the continents, Antarctica has, by far, the least population. And I'm pretty sure that every single goddamn one of them are just scientists and researchers. Does anybody go on vacation in Antarctica? Why? I'd rather go on vacation in fucking Siberia than Antarctica. It's probably warmer. Now, number 9 is not a law that exists anymore, but it's a law that used to exist decades ago. And that is that no red or white cars were allowed in the country until the 1960s. Red and white cars are so common now, it's mind-boggling to think that they were once outlawed in the country, but they were until the 1960s, and as strange as that seems, there is a reason for it. Normal red and white cars could confuse people on the road because emergency vehicles like ambulances and fire trucks and stuff like that were also those colors. Apparently they considered it really easy to mix them up if you're not being super observant, so you wouldn't know what vehicle to give way to. Because as we all know, like, ambulances and fire trucks look exactly the same as fucking cars. Hey, I said it was a reason. I didn't say it was a good reason. Number 10. You can go to jail for up to 29 days for exposing your thighs or your butt in public. Even though many Japanese girls wear miniskirts, it's actually illegal to expose your thighs or butt in public. This was a law that was passed all the way back in 1948. However, few Japanese people are even aware of this law, and it is rarely ever enforced. And, you know, rightfully so. As long as you're not, like, nude in public or something, you should be allowed to show a little skin. Especially, like, minor skin like that. I know there's a lot of people that have thigh fetishes. Okay, maybe in anime girls, because somehow they make those girls' thighs look really fucking nice. In real women, I've never really understood the thigh fetish, personally. But hey, it's rarely enforced anyways. Number 11, it's illegal to force someone to drink alcohol in Japan. As it should be, like I said before, for this to be a law, someone has to have done this. Someone has to have held someone down and poured fucking alcohol down their throat for them to think that they needed a law prohibiting this. Okay, maybe it wasn't that extreme, but you get the idea. Coercion even, whatever. So apparently the real reason is because it's customary for workers to go out to drink after work with their bosses, and a lot of bosses would tend to abuse their power, basically, to force the workers to drink alcohol, or they might lose their job or get a pay deduction or something like that. And so this law was enacted to protect workers from corrupt bosses, essentially. So it is a good thing this law is on the books. Like, Japanese workers suffer enough as it fucking is. Any amount of laws to help them out are always a good thing as far as. And last but not least, number 10. It's illegal to own walkie-talkies that you bought in another country. Most people don't think about bringing walkie-talkies on holiday, but just in case you're thinking about packing it for your trip to Japan, keep in mind that it's illegal. And also, why? Like, do most people even own walkie-talkies anymore? Most people just own cell phones. I mean, you know. Japan relies heavily on their radio network for community broadcasting to relay important information. And apparently your foreign walkie-talkie can apparently throw things into disarray if an interference occurs. Don't ask me how. I don't know anything about this shit. Failure to comply with this law can result in up to 1 year in prison or a fine of 1,000,000 yen, which is equal to over 900,000 US dollars, I believe. So, a weird law that I don't really understand. Maybe it's logical. I don't really know anything about that stuff. So anyways, that does it for this video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about all of these laws I mentioned in this video. If you agree or disagree with any of them. Any other laws that you would like to be featured in perhaps a future video. And in general, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more content in the future. Hit that like button and share it around so it gets more attention. And hit the notification bell so you always know whenever I upload a new video, because I release new videos all the time. Typically 1 or 2 a week. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.